All right. What's the problem?
I'm confused.
You two exchange with that table.
Wait, which two? Boys or the girls?
Those two on the end, the two I pointed at. That's all you gonna do? It's not that difficult. All right. We're going to grade these, and as we grade these, we're also going to be marking what's going to be on our next test or either semester exam. We may have another test, we may not, but definitely these things will be on our semester exam. So let's go ahead and get started. If you got a question about one that somebody has wrong and you're not sure about it, then ask me, and I'll tell you, I'll help you out. All right, lesson 1. This period. This second part, what we've done so far is we went through the first part talking about creation, talking about the first sin, we talked about the flood, we talked about Abraham, we talked about the 10 Commandments, we talked about the tabernacle, and now we're moving to the period in history where the judges come into play. And this is a period of history for Israel that was very, very dark. Okay? And so lesson 1 right here, it says, long ago that God made 3 promises to Abraham. Some of you should have remembered this from the first lesson. Okay, so when those 3 key promises that God made to Abraham were what, according to the paper that you have, Dickinson?
I will make you a great nation. I will bless you, and I will bless those who bless you.
Anybody got something different? Dollar bill.
God will make you a great nation. God will bless you and bless the people who bless you. God will curse the people who curse you.
What your paper have, Marley Glenn?
I'll make you a great nation. Through him all families will be blessed, and he will give his descendants the land.
All right. On that one there, I'm not going to count it wrong. It's a little bit ambiguous. It's not real clear when you're just reading. Everybody get your Bibles out and turn to Genesis chapter 12. But I'm getting ready to tell you what I want on the test. I'm getting ready to tell you what I want on the test. And what I want on the test is what was in the first section of the Old Testament that we did. The 3 things that were in the first section. So it's kind of unclear because you got several different things mentioned in Genesis chapter 12. Look at verse number 2. You got one thing. I will make you a great nation. That's 1. I will bless you and make your name great. That's 2. I will bless those who bless you and curse those who curse you. That's 3. And in you all families of the earth will be blessed. That's 4. So it's kind of ambiguous right there. But this is what I want on the test. And you should have out a piece of paper. Get you out a clean sheet of paper so that you can take notes for your own benefit. Don't write on this person's paper. So this is Christmas. What have you done? All right, the 3 key promises. As a matter of fact, you know what? Let's not even do this. Because you already have that in the first. We already been over that. Haven't we been over that?
Yeah.
Y'all remember in section 1?
Yeah.
The 3 key promises, and you remember what that main promise was out of the 3 key promises? What was the main promise out of the first 3 key promises?
I'll make you into a great nation.
And you all families will be blessed.
And you all, in your seed, all families of the earth will be blessed. Y'all need to go back and review. I'm going to do it for Dickinson. Dickinson, you write this down because you need to know this. 3 key promises that God made to Abraham. Number 1 was, I will make you a great nation. And number 2 was what?
I will bless you.
No. Number 2, some of y'all should remember this.
I will
Yeah, I will give you this land. I will give you the land of Canaan. Put that down. I will give you the land of Canaan. And the last one, Moon.
In you, all the families of the earth shall be blessed.
In your seed, all families of the earth will be blessed. Correct. That's the answer for page 1 right here, Dax, that you need. Whenever you get your paper back, you need to fill that in so you'll know it for the test. All right. So on the box, in the box to the right there, I'm not going to grade that part unless they don't have anything there. If they don't have anything there, then, you know, put an X on it. Okay. All right. That's basically talking about Abraham's family and how his family grew into a great nation. And you can find that in Genesis chapter 11 where it talks about where he came from, and then proceeding from that, when we looked in section 1 of the Old Testament last 9 weeks, you see how Abraham's family grew from Abraham to Isaac to Jacob, and then to Jacob's 12 sons. They all ended up in Egypt, and they ended up in slavery in Egypt, and so forth and so on. You can see how his family grew. Okay. All right, turn on the back side. Did Israel finish the job of driving out all? Now we're getting into the book of Judges. And according to the book of Judges, did Israel finish the job of driving out all the nations in the land? The answer is no. No. The answer is no. That will be on the test. That will be on the test. Go ahead and mark that on the person's paper you have. With the red. Hey, Glenn, why you got that in your hand? Is that a red pen? I mean, why do you think I gave y'all a red pen if I want y'all to grade with a pencil? Put a mark beside that question there so people will know, the person's paper you're grading will know. Did Israel finish the job of driving out the nations in the land? The answer is no. Put a star beside that question so the person will know. Give evidence of that. The verse they should have in the box should be Judges chapter 1. Either of these verses right here. They either have Judges 1 verse 21, or they can have any verses between 27 through 37. If they don't have any verse in the box, mark it wrong. But let's turn over there and look at it. Turn to Judges chapter 1. All right, in Judges chapter 1, let's look at verse 21. All right, read verse 21 for me there, Sellers.
The children of Benjamin did not drive out the Jebusites who inhabited Jerusalem. So the Jebusites dwell with the children of Benjamin in Jerusalem to this day.
So the children of Israel did not drive out the Jebusites. God told them to drive out everybody from the land, and they didn't do it. And if you jump down and look at verse 27, look at verse 27. Manasseh did not drive out the inhabitants. Look at verse number 29. Ephraim did not drive out the inhabitants. Look at verse 30. Zebulun did not drive out the inhabitants. Look at verse 31. Asher did not drive out the inhabitants. And look at verse 3. Naphtali did not drive out the inhabitants. So you can see this is proof that Israel did not do what God told them to do.
What were the verses? Did you say 27 to what?
37. The correct answer, and write the correct answer on their paper for them in red if they don't have it. The correct answer for this that I want on the test is Judges chapter 1, 21 through 37. Write that on the person's paper that you're grading. Judges chapter 1, 21 through 37. 1, 21 through 37. Judges. Write that on their paper. So they'll have the correct answer. All right. Let's jump down at the bottom. There are 2 parts to this question. It says, what 2 punishment does the angel say that Israel will suffer because they failed to drive out the inhabitants or the other nations in Canaan? Let's look at Judges chapter 2, verse 1 through 5. Look at verse number 4. Read verse 4 for me in Judges chapter 2, Dura.
When the angel of the Lord had spoken these things.
I'm sorry, verse 3.
Now therefore I tell you that I will not drive them out before you. They will be thorns in your sides, and their gods will be a snare to you.
2 things. Number 1, they will be a thorn in your side, and their gods will be a snare to you. Number 1, they will be a thorn in your side, and then the second part is their gods will be a snare. They have to have both of those. They don't have each one of those is a single answer. So if they miss one, just mark it wrong. Mark that one wrong. If they have one and they don't have the others, just mark one. If they don't have any of it, then put down their -2 in that spot. If they don't have any, if they do not have any answer right there, put -2 in that spot. All right. Let's go to page. That will be on the test too. That will be on the test. All right, now let's go to page 3. Let me ask you a question. Why do you think God did not want to? Well, why do you think God, Bowman, why do you think God told them to drive these people out?
So they can have a place to stay.
Well, that may have been part of it, so they can have a place to stay. But what else, Dollar?
Because they were ungodly people and they were not pleasing in the sight of the Lord.
Right, they were ungodly people. And God did not want them to rub off on the children of Israel. He didn't want the children of Israel picking up none of their bad habits. And that's why he told them to drive them out. Okay, look at page 3. At the top up there, when Judges chapter 2 still, how long did the people continue to serve God after entering Canaan, Dinar? All right. Jarvis.
Until the end of their generations.
Okay, I'll take that. Write this answer down for them. Well, first of all, I'll take at the end of their generation, or I'll take until Joshua died, or Joshua and the elders. They got to have something like that. If you're not sure, ask me. Lynn.
What if they got until everybody died?
I'll take that.
For another generation of their fathers?
Yeah, that's what he just said.
They have about 110.
Oh. About 110. I'll take that. That they put down there the age of Joshua. So, I'll take that. Dollar.
What if they put the time that Joseph did?
No, they meant Joshua, so I'll take it. Cross that out and put Joshua, so they'll know. Don't mark it wrong. I just said I'll take it. I don't know why you marked it wrong.
Oh, I had marked it wrong in the first place, so I was marking out my.
All right, that will be on the test. All right. Look at John, over to the right there where it says explain Judges 2:10. What is that verse saying to you? When all that generation had been gathered to their fathers, another generation arose, after which they did not know the Lord nor work which he had done for Israel. Somebody tell me, I'm not going to count this one on this page here, unless they didn't do it. If it's marked wrong, if this blank, mark it wrong. Only if it's blank, mark it wrong. All right, but I want somebody to tell me, sit up, Jarvis. I'm tired of telling you to sit up in my classroom. Get off my table. I'm not telling you anymore. Katie, from your words, not the person's paper you're reading, but from your words, explain to me what Genesis 2:10 is saying to you about Israel. Y'all should already be turned over there. Yes. Judges 2:10. Did I say, were you already at Judges? Did I say Genesis? Huh?
Yes, sir.
It's my fault. I'm sorry. Forgive me.
The first generation didn't teach the second generation about God. So they weren't godly.
Say it again.
First generation didn't teach the second generation about God. So they weren't godly.
Okay, the first generation didn't teach the second generation about God, so they were ungodly. Okay, I'll take that. What do you think? What's that verse saying to you, Bowman?
The generation did not know the Lord or the work he had done for Israel.
That's what the verse says.
Well,
I said, what is the verse saying to you?
oh, well, kind of like that. All right. The generation, all right. Generation didn't know who, the generation did not know God. Well, yeah, the generation did not know God.
That's number 10 generation. Keep going.
All right, generation.
That's number 11. Okay, keep going.
Generation.
Number 12. All right, keep going.
All right. Well, after that, they also didn't know what the Lord had did for their people. That's it.
Okay, all right, thank you, man. Dollarville.
The next in line of the people had not learned about God yet, so they acted ungodly and worshipped other gods and did other ungodly like things.
Right. Why do you think they did this after Joshua died and after all the elders died? Well, somebody just said. Was it Katie? Katie, did you say they didn't teach the people? Okay. It could have been because they did not teach their children about God and about what God had already done for them. And so the children grew up not having that appreciation for God as did their parents and grandparents, Okay? And that brought about what you call a cycle of sin. This cycle of sin will be on your test. It will be on your test. Put a big star by that for the people. Says, pay attention. Put a star beside the cycle of sin at the top right there, a big red star, so everybody knows this will be on the test. All right, and the cycle is Israel rebels against God. After they rebel against God, God roughs them up, sends them into captivity. After they get in captivity, they find out how bad it is, they start crying to God and they repent. After they repent, God always sends a deliverer to them to rescue them, who is called a what? Judge. After they're delivered, they have rest for a period of time, meaning there is peace in the land for a period of time. And that was all throughout the book of Judges, that was the cycle. All the way through the book of Judges. Now, y'all had to do a judge, and you had to write about a judge, and some of y'all asked me about the cycle, and you couldn't find certain things. That's because with some of the judges, it doesn't give you enough details. And just give you a small portion of what happened. It's so brief that you don't really see the cycle, but some of them you do see the cycle. Okay? So let's turn over to page 4, and let's look at an example of the cycle. And go ahead and be turning to Judges chapter 3, verse 5 through verse 11. Now, there are 5 answers on this page. So these answers are, if you see one blank, just go ahead and mark that one wrong. Okay, so Judges chapter 3, verse 5 through 11 is an example of Othniel. Othniel. By the way, you will, just so you can go ahead and start studying, you will have to name these judges. So I will go ahead and memorize them. If you want to take a note of that somewhere, I will go ahead and write that down on my own piece of paper. Dollar Bill, wake up. I will write that down on my own piece of paper. I will have to know the judges for the test. I will go ahead and memorize that if I were you. I think it would be a wise thing to do. Bought it for you now. All right. So let's look at this example in Judges 3, 5 through 11. First off, the paper that you have. What did the Israelites do, Harris?
They took their daughters to be their wives and gave their daughters to their sons.
Yeah, but what's wrong with that?
Like the obvious thing, you don't bury your daughter.
Huh?
Besides the obvious thing that you don't bury your daughter, that's kind of weird.
No, that's not what that says. It didn't say that. Look at chapter 3 and verse 5. The children of Israel, chapter 3 verse 5. Verse 6. And they took their daughters to be their wives and gave their daughters to their sons. But look at verse 5. The children of Israel dwelt among the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites, and they took their daughters. It's not saying that the fathers took their own daughters. It's saying that the children of Israel took their daughters and gave them to the Amorites. I'm gonna take that this time that they gave them, but that doesn't tell me anything. I mean, when you start getting down to the fact that they served their gods, and then when you look at verse 7, everybody look at verse 7. What in verse 7 tells you what they were doing was bad. Right, they did evil in the sight of the Lord. So you just can't put down that, oh, they gave them daughters to be their wives. That doesn't mean anything. Okay? Here's what I want. Correct their paper. Or, I mean, well, before you correct their paper, they got to have this. They either got to have, they gave their daughters and sons to be wise, or they served other gods, or they did evil in the sight of the Lord. They got to have something like that. If they don't have nothing like that, then it's wrong. If you got a question about it, ask me.
Is it okay if they put serve Balaam?
Serve Balaam? I'll take that, but I'll take that. I mean, I'm not sure in here where they find the word Balaam. I don't see it. I mean, I see Baal. No, that's wrong. I'm not going to take it. Unless the person whose paper that is, when you get it back, if you can show me where you got Balaam from in your translation or something, then I accept it. Yes,
What if it says they rebelled?
I'll take that. All right. You do? Yeah.
You can make a presentation at the end of the day.
I will. Okay.
Got it. You may bring it to you here.
You can. That'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. All right, here's the answer I want. They married strangers. Write this down. On this person's paper. They married strangers, served other gods, and did evil in the sight of the Lord. Married strangers, served other gods, and did evil in the sight of the Lord. All right, number 2. Second, what did God tell them to do? He sent them, what did God do to them? He sent them into captivity. He sent them into captivity. Dax.
So I have to put roughed up.
Yeah.
They put to allow their enemies to defeat them.
Yep, same thing.
They were beaten by their enemies.
Same thing.
They were sold into the hands of the king of
Y'all listen to me just a minute. Taken captive, roughed up, beaten by the enemy. All of these are phrases for the same thing. Beaten by the enemy, slapped by the enemy, kicked by the enemy, ran over by the enemy. All of it's the same thing. Help me out. Yes, ma'am.
They don't have anything to
Yeah, mark it wrong. -1. All right, number 3. What did the people do when when they were punished by God? They cried. Or if they put repentant, I'll take that. Number 4, rescued by Othniel. Who just put rescued on that one?
This person who they raised up with the
Okay.
They put, we gave them a judge.
All right. me ask you a question. Who got a paper that put rebels, roughed up, repents, rescue, and rest, and that's all they have? Mark those wrong. The reason why I'm gonna mark them wrong is because basically all y'all did is repeat what's on the first verse. If you read the verse, then you wouldn't have got those particular phrases. You would have got what they actually did. Like for number 3, it says they cried to God. It doesn't say anything about repenting. I mean, that is repenting, but it doesn't say anything about repenting. That was the easy way out. Just putting what's on the first page. I mean, the previous page. Number 5, 40 years. 40 years.
What did they put until the judge died?
40 years. Gotta have 40 years, that's wrong. All right. Okay, count up very carefully how many they missed. Count up very carefully how many they missed. Yeah, that'd be fine. Count up how many they missed and then go back to the first page and write at the top. Yes, ma'am.
On page 2 in the box, what did they put no because the angels punished him?
Say what now?
Page 2 in the box.
What if they put what?
No, because the angels punished him.
Oh, no, that's wrong.
How many places?
That's just 1 point for that. I mean, those 2 separate things. The question and the box are 2 separate things. All right, get the papers back to the person. And let them see. Y'all look over your paper. Where's this plan at? Look over your paper. Yes. Hold up just a minute. Just wait just a minute. I gotta look this up, Miss Brown. All right. Martha Glenn, you got a question? What's your question?